Hello everyone and our viewers. Welcome to the finale weekend of IRC Esports Season X. Today we are here at USA, or most famously known as Kota, for the Tier 3 race. And yep, we are heading into the finale race and we're gonna see a lot of amazing stuff happening today. Plus we got an amazing surprise for you after the race, so please stick with it if you want to know what is that. Today in the commentary box, I am joined by Simply one of the fellow commentators as well as
Hello.
coordinators. Plus, we have our streamer who is SSJ. So, hello SSJ.
Hello, Danish. Hello, guys. I was watching a stream. Glad to be on
Yep,
board
Hello.
once again.
yep. So, Simply, in the finale weekend, we are finally here. What do you expect? Any expectations from the race today?
I mean, this track is horrible for racing. Especially in this game, the difference between wheel and controller is too much, especially on this track. So we haven't really seen good racing on this track ever, and that's what I'm expecting today as well, to be honest.
Yep, I mean the track is a bit tricky for overtaking. Like we have the SS section in the first sector, which sometimes can put the drivers into the wall. So obviously, driver needs to be cautious. But again, there are big straights as well, which help the driver to overtake. So yep, and I think it's time to go to the track guide and see how the track is to get the viewers an idea of where the drivers will be racing.
5.5 kilometers long, 20 turns. First sector, completely wheeled sector. Two DRS zones, one on the main side, one on this very long back straight. A lot of elevation changes. Looks like a roller coaster. Let's go on board this roller coastery lap that we have.
Everyone, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board a lap here in Austin, Texas, in the circuit of the Americas. Now, on board with the Alpine of Blizzard King, you want to be on the right hand side for turn 1. Uphill braking, so you can brake later than you think. Use the black box on the right for reference. Take a late apex here, balance the curve with throttle on the exit. You can make sure you get a clean run onto this downhill section here. Turns 2, 3, 4, and 5, all very reminiscent of the Suzuka SS without the elevation change, of course. But you want to be balancing the curve with throttle, swinging from apex to apex, keeping the minimum speed high. For turns 6, 7, and 8, very technical. Take a late apex here, get a slingshot exit into this downhill section, and make sure you keep it within the track limits. Very easy to go run wide there. For turn 11, you want to brake just at the 75-meter mark, take a late apex again, and make sure you get a good exit again as you head onto this very, very long back straight here. Watch out for the DRS board on the right-hand side to activate it and get those few extra Ks you will need for overtaking here. Now, preparing for turn 12, avoiding the curb this year, as the ground effect will kick in, and well, you will bottom out there. Make sure you get a good exit here for turns 13, 14, 15, very technical, very less braking involved, as you're just rotating the car with the brakes and steering as well, and make sure the balance of the car is not disrupted too much here, as you will lose a lot of time. With the triple apex right hand corner, you want to be taking a tighter line here, minimizing the distance traveled to the next corner. For this corner here, swing it in. Make sure you compromise on your exit to carry more minimum speed. Same for the last corner, if the line is very close, carry more speed than you think. And get a good, decent exit as well, though, for if you're on a race run. And yeah, that's a lap of Boston, Texas. And yeah.
Amazing lap from our very own 8 Cilindas, or also, as he's known in the clip, Lizard King. If you got the reference, do put it into the chat. You will get a cookie, I guess, for it. And it is a very, very wet qualifying here for the Tier 3 boys.
Yep, again, the track is tricky, plus the session is wet. So I think the game is just testing the drivers in the finale and how much they have learned throughout the season. It's gonna be fun to watch them if they'll spin or they'll get amazing lap time on board. Like Hamilton, today just a magic lap from him. So we might see magic lap from the
Lucky
drivers as
lap.
well in tier 3.
Yeah, Hamilton got a very lucky lap, and as you can see, not an influencer has finished the championship, but he still decides to race in this series. I guess it's always better to end on a high than to just showboat. But yeah, the driver standings are on your right hand side of the screen. You can see all of the drivers pretty close in terms of the points in the standings, and all of the drivers, as far as the main drivers are concerned, do have uh, points for themselves, not penalties. I apologize for that. And in this very wet race, we can see one car coming out. But yeah, oh okay, very surprising to see something over here. So I guess the WCC is not technically over because the reserve team, whichever one that is only a few points behind McLaren.
I mean, I think it's over if I'm not wrong. It's not a few points, still not possible
And we
for
have the
them to
constructor
get.
standings up again.
Yep, McLaren is 374 points and Williams is 319 points in P2.
Hold on. Look at the graphic, Danish.
Yep, I am waiting for the graphics to show up, but still, okay. In the meantime, we can just wait
I
for
guess
it.
when it does show up, yeah.
Yep, as right
wait
now
for
we are seeing Vinay, who is driving on this wet track and trying to get the feel of it before he starts an push lap. And simply, what's your say on this? Like, it's a wet session, so should drivers be running minimal fuel and putting the fast laps and just spitting, or they should just carry a bit more fuel load and keep on continuing till they get the right point where they can get the best lap time in?
That's in one tire set. They should be doing maybe like like 2 laps at least on one tire set, because these tires, especially in qualifying, they don't really wear out as much as the slicks do. So they do have a bit of an advantage here. So yeah, if they do mess up their first lap, they can obviously go for a second one and then go again and again. So maybe they can get around 6 runs in totally in this race. So I think if they're able to pull it off, they obviously have to be quick enough to pull it off. If they can, then yeah, I guess they could get 6 runs in.
Yep, I mean, I agree with you. As right now we are seeing Ritesh, who is starting a fast lap, going through turn 1, which is uphill, very tricky braking point. You sometimes try to miss the apex as well, which he doesn't. Gets a decent exit, though just the inputs are a bit weird because of the wheel, which he's trying to
Controller.
maximize on. Yep, he's on controller, okay. So on the controller, and E-Dog is the next one who is starting his fast lap. Simply, any expectations with what can be the pole lap time in these conditions?
To be honest, I have no idea. I have done 0 laps in the wet on this game for pretty much every track, so yeah, I cannot tell. Yeah, look at the constructor standings. It says reserve 369.
Well.
See?
You are putting a wrong battle mate there.
So see, the reserve drivers, as long as they out qualify not an influencer this race, if there is any, out race not an influencer, then I think the reserves could win the WCC.
I mean, I really don't want to comment on that, but yeah, I won't be surprised.
Hey,
So it's a
at least they
battle
win
of an
something.
army of drivers against 2, you can say.
Well, there's only one today. There's only influencer.
I mean, still the
Khatro ke
battle.
khiladi.
Yep. As right now, well, simply to be honest, whole lap time expecting it to be around 142s or 3s. Again, we'll find it out in some time, but yep, I'm expecting somewhere close to that. As right now, E-Dog, who is just finished the sector 2. Simply, I don't think these conditions are proving very useful or very easy for the drivers because the nature of the track, just corners coming one after another, and especially this long right-hander which can literally push you into the runoff.
Yeah, well, lack of grip, especially on this game, but there's already a plenty of lack of grip thanks to the shit coding from Pitmasters. It's good to see that we'll be saying a massive, you know what I want to say, to this game. As Ida crosses the line and goes off. Oh, never mind. Mohan snatches it away immediately with a 47.8, going around 3 tenths faster than E-Dog. But yeah. Wolf and Peter taking it away again from Mohan. So these guys are just swapping places. And funnily enough, it's raining Varama as well.
Yep, and one more thing to add is that I won't be surprised if not an influencer starts from behind and tries to do a last to first challenge, which he did in the previous race. So anything can happen, to be fair. I'm not expecting not an influencer to put a lap as of now, because from what I heard from him last time when I talked to him in the podium interviews, he just said now the championship over, so he just wants to enjoy and enjoy the battling with other drivers. So yep.
I mean, to be fair to him, or rather to be fair to us, he already knew that he's won the championship multiple races before because his rival, I kind of forgot who it was because I was doing
It was
tier
a
2
squad drag,
mainly.
just to correct you. Yep.
Destroyed track, there you go. He pretty much was not going to attend the final 2 races. He had already said it before, and considering that he had a pretty bad third last race, I forgot which that was again. I do apologize for that. But yeah, because he had a pretty bad race, it was pretty much impossible for him to win at that point. So, if anything, he's been taking it chill for the past a round as well. So he doesn't, again, as you said, doesn't really have to push, but he definitely has, that fighter instinct still in him that even if he does not do well right now, obviously it's not going to matter. You still have to obviously carry that momentum forward into the next season, because if you end this one in a high, then obviously your hopes, your expectations of yourself will be quite high. So from the next season onwards, so that's quite important for him, I'd say.
Yep, I agree with you. As it looks like he just wanted to get a feel of the track on how the conditions are, how much grip is available, and decides to pit after just doing one outlap. Probably trying to do last two first again. Let's see where he can finish in the race. But as of now, Pathogen, who goes with a 46.7 on provisional pole with 10 minutes to go in quali. That was a good lap from him.
Amazing lap from Parth, to be honest. As I said, the conditions are improving. He's done 2 consecutive hot laps on this tire, so it's just the nature of it. You don't really lose much ERS. So, and yeah, of course, one extra thing is that as you're going into braking zones, turning off the ERS really quickly before you go onto the power kind of helps in these conditions as well, especially since it's like inters, and obviously it does help a lot more when it's wets because then. You're not using up the energy of your car, so you do have a lot more for whatever is coming up ahead of you. That's one thing. And the other thing is that your car, obviously, your tires do not lose as much grip because obviously the batteries themselves send quite a bit of power to the tires. And Ritesh comes across the line with a 46.5 out of nowhere, 2.5 tenths faster than Parthian. But yeah, as I was saying, you just decrease that bit of wheel spin, get the traction down, keep on going. Billy Butcher fastest first and second sector. But yeah, it just helps you put the power down easier. You just get a much better exit at the end of the day. So that's why, especially on this track, considering how long it is, it's really easy to do 2 or 3 consecutive laps, as Ritesh has shown himself. And so does Billy Butcher, as he goes fastest on his second consecutive lap by 7.5 tenths.
That the lap times are just going faster and faster as the time is going by. It just shows how much track is improving or how much drivers are learning the braking points. But yeah, Billy Butcher looks pretty weird. Shouldn't he be driving a McLaren when his teammate is not an influencer?
He's a reserve.
Okay, he's a reserve. I am sorry, I forgot about that. Seeing him driving alongside not an influencer from past few races just made me think that he's his teammate.
The not an influencer's teammate has been a bit busy with his life, hence why he's not showed up quite recently. But still, yeah, I get it. It's a bit weird for you, but yeah, he's a reserve at the end of the day.
Yep, it's something like, when you see a driver, like two drivers being teammates again and again, and you just feel like, okay, these two are seriously teammates, not that one is reserve and just driving for that particular constructor.
Yep.
As right now we are seeing Uday, who puts a lap time of 45, I think it's 46.5, yep, 46.5, which is 8 tenths slower than Billy Butcher. So lap times, the gap is still a bit more compared to what we saw in real life today. But yeah, still it's 8 minutes left in quali. I won't be surprised if the lap times are just going by and we might see drivers being very close when the quali ends.
Absolutely, yeah, that could be a complete possibility. Although, of course, as it goes with the wet conditions, it's down to the driver to obviously pull out as much as he can because it's more reliant on the skill of the driver to tackle the wet conditions rather than the car itself. So, really, not many excuses here. The quick drivers who actually have a lot of potential are going quicker. And I think Billy Butcher is on an ERS saving lap or something. Yeah, he saved up his ERS and he's going again. So these drives are actually doing what real life drives do, that just do multiple laps again and again and again. And I think at the after this lap, he's gonna box, put on a fresh set of inters, and then do the same thing again until the end. And hopefully, as the track evolves a little bit, the dry line gets drier, and obviously he finds the places where he's making mistake. He's going 3.5 tenths faster already in the first sector, so he knows where he's making mistake, and he's already correcting them. All he has to do is now finish the next 2 sectors, which again is not the easiest of things to do. Although of course the second sector is literally just the straight pretty much, so that's not a hard thing to tackle. In the meanwhile, Parthogen after 4 laps again 44.9. So these guys are just doing one hot lap, recharge, hot lap, recharge, hot lap. So yeah, they're making the most out of their tires because of course they don't wear out as quickly. So that's what Billy Butcher will be trying to beat. He has to go 8.5 tenths faster than Parthogen. And he is currently, he's going 8 and a bit more than half a tenth faster on his current time, I believe, although somebody else has taken away fastest first sector. So yeah, he's looking to get the provisional pole, but I think they will have to box now, slap on a fresh pair of inters and go out again.
Yep, I mean, it looks like that rain is still pouring down, but the dry line is forming pretty fast as we are seeing drivers going very fast lap by lap. But Billy Butcher has invalidated his recent lap. I think it was penultimate corner, or just before the penultimate corner, he invalidated his lap.
Yep.
So that was it could have been an amazing lap from him with the lap time going faster, but still he invalidated, so he needs to go again. Probably will pit and go out on fresh set of inters in the final 2-3 minutes. As of now, Parthogen, who is on provisional pole with a lap time of 44.9. So I think I was pretty close with the pole lap time, which it can be. I'm happy
You
with
said a
that.
42.
I said a close to 43, 44 if I'm not wrong.
You said a 42 from what I remember.
Well, let's just ignore that. That's not a part of discussion. So, yep, as of now, not an influencer who was starting a lap, I think. And, yep, he looks like it's an invalidated lap. Probably must have invalidated the final corner because we know it just invalidates the next lap as well. So, yeah, as right now, Ritesh, who is on a fast lap or... Yep, I think, yep, he's starting his fast lap and it's 4 minutes into the session, so 2 push laps maybe, simply?
Absolutely, why not?
Yep, so 2 push laps for Ritesh. As of now, E-Dog goes P2 with a lap time just 1400 slower than Parthogen. The field is getting really spicy and close, and that's the same thing we were talking about earlier, like the field is a bit spread as of now, but it will start to get close as the time will go.
Absolutely, that field spread is getting lower and lower. And that's Vinay, ha ha ha, Vinay. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know I'm not laughing at Vinay, but again, if you know, you know. He's gone P3 in the Alpine, looking good so far. But remember, there's Billy Butcher as well as Ritesh who are behind him, who have been looking quite quick throughout this session, especially over multiple laps. So I think it's going to be quite hard for him to keep that P4. And he's pit as well, so it's going to be even harder for him to do that now. Unless he can somehow pit and quickly come out and do like one final run, which I don't think he will manage to do.
Well, that depends, but yeah, like you said, it's a bit difficult or tricky for him to go in and come out again because the lap time, he might not have enough time to start his final lap. But yep, we'll see. As of now, Mighty Owl who just crosses the line after an invalidated lap.
This is the next lap.
Yep, and Satvik, who is going purple in sector 1, someone goes faster than him. I'm not sure who is
He's
going
green in
behind him.
sector 1.
Yep, I still think someone is going faster than Satvik because he was purple sector 1 earlier, but yep,
Ritesh is. Or
the
not.
lap times are just going faster and faster. Simply, what's your say on this?
Ritesh. Well, they won't be anywhere close to the 42s, but wow, they are very quick.
Yep, the
2.5
lap
minutes
times are just
left.
going fast.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. A lot more to play for these guys. So I think they're only going to go quicker and quicker. Satvik, 2 green sectors. Mohan goes again, 44.4. every time they set a new fastest lap, it's always been 2/10 of a gap. So I think, yeah, that's increasing. Satwik never went, makes her 1.5 tenth gap. Provisionally P2.
Yep, as right now we are seeing a lot of drivers who are in contention of pole as of now. With 2 minutes into the session, simply, do you have any predictions on who's gonna be on pole today? Or if not pole, just give me a top 3 prediction. Not the order doesn't matter, just tell me who do you think will be in top 3
I
at
would
least.
say Parth will be in the top 3. Ritesh will be in the top 3. And I guess Wolf will be there as well now that he's at it.
Well, you missed out one driver. I mean, to be honest, Billy Butcher is another possibility to be in top 3, seeing his lap time earlier.
Could be. Could be. Lean Sipper starting his run. Like his first runs didn't go too well. So I think this will be his only chance. Yeah, this is his only chance. 1 minute and 15 remaining in this session. So he will have to pull out a massive lap out of nowhere to get within the top 5. With the egg going. What?
Well, we really don't know what's happening. Let's just ignore
there
that.
you go. He's P5.
Yep.
He's P5.
There looks like a slight delay, if I'm not wrong.
I think
Disconnected from the session. Yes, he just left the session.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he's actually P5.
Yep. As right now we are seeing field is just getting close and close.
Oh
as
my
E-Dog
God!
goes pole with a 6/10 gap to P2.
43.6 Mohan. He's not improving. He has enough time to start another one though.
Well, simply, what's your say now? They're still going. Even if I said 42, 43, they're going close to that.
Well, I guess if they keep improving at this pace, then yeah, I guess a 42 is on the cards.
Probably they
Satwik
heard
starting
me.
another lap himself. His final run he's begun now. Not an influencer coming out just to do a casual parade lap, waving to the fans.
Yep, pretty eager to do that parade lap.
Oh yeah, we do have one at the end of this race. So make sure you stay tuned. Unlike Lean Sipper's wing, which has disconnected from his car. So that is his qualifying over, unfortunately. Unless he can still finish the lap, but I guess that won't really matter because, yeah, that's qualifying ruined. He'll be P12 anyways.
Yep, that long right-hander is pretty tricky for the drivers to get right because the grip is so less, plus the rainy conditions. You really
Oh, he
have to be
finished
on
the
the edge. As right
Yeah,
now, not an influencer. Again, it looks like an invalidated lap, so we'll not be putting any fast lap.
I think
So-
that's it. Oh, no,
Yep.
Ritesh is on a lap. Where can
And-
he go? First two sectors are green for him. Literally out of the ERS. On the main straight now, coming across the line. He goes P2, only 300ths off of E-Dog.
Yep, and the drivers are just going, and Billy Butcher goes pole with a lap time 1/10 faster.
He had to improve a lot. I think like a second or something on his lap. So that's a massive ask from him. Mohan improving as well. He could be on for a P2 himself. Over here, Partho Jain, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Looking good for the Red Bull guys.
Yep, it's really looking good and spicy. Let's see where he goes. He's just going through final few corners. And he just gets a decent exit from this, going through the final corner of the track, and he'll be soon finishing the lap. Let's see where he goes after he finishes the lap. And he goes pole with a lap
Oh
7/10
my
faster.
Oh my god. So yeah, you were right. It is a 42. The pole. Now see, now this makes me wonder what could have influenced it on.
Exactly. And the best part is, it was seriously not expected. Like, a driver is going on pole with a lap time 7/10 faster than driver in P2. And he just put this thing correct that if you should be the last one starting the lap in rainy conditions. You shouldn't be starting the lap early, but should be the last one, like as late as you can while starting the lap. So you
Yep.
get the best conditions and you get the best lap time.
The funny thing is, Stanish, it's already slicks condition now because you can see the track is visibly dry now. Just a few
It ain't
wet patches
slick.
here, but yeah, it's starting to get into slick conditions.
Yep.
That timing is just perfect from Mamu. And being honest, simply you got two drivers right to win top 3. I got one. So
Yep.
cookie for you maybe.
Yes, please.
So simply, would you like to go us through the grid?
Pure Parthogen on pole with a 42.885, 7 tenths, 7.5 tenths ahead of Billy Butcher and P2. Not a bad effort from him regardless. E-Dog P3, Ritesh P4, Mohan P5, Wolf Imperia P6, Satvik P7, Vinay, Vinay P8, Uday P9, Lean Sipper P10, finishing off the top 10. Mr. Roth P11, Mighty Owl P12, and the WDC P13.
That's a nice way to say. But yeah, now soon the drivers will be jumping into a battle on track, which is of 20 corners. So they have to
38 laps,
survive 20
36.
corners in each lap with 20 laps. So what do you say?
I
Sorry,
think
not
it's
20 laps,
36 laps.
28 laps if I'm not wrong.
Is it 28?
Yep, it's 28, sir.
I guess we're about to find out.
Yep, right now the drivers need to wait for minimum of 1 minute for everyone to load their strategies and setups, and which always the coordinators feel like they should not fail because everyone knows how hectic the task is to get a new lobby up. So yep, it's always like the coordinators are always thankful to the drivers whenever they don't ready up early.
Let's finish the season off in a high, obviously.
Yep, exactly. So right now we are just waiting for the drivers to ready up and simply seeing how close the quali was. It can be because of the wet conditions, but
Was it?
what are your expectations for the race?
I think Influencer wins.
Yep, and I think I got your question earlier because you said it was not close with Mamu going faster than 7 tenths from the driver in P2. But I just mean
Exactly.
still because of the timing, you can say. But still, the pace looks similar among the drivers. The drivers have that pace to just keep improving as the lap
Yep.
goes by. So,
I
any
guess that is what
expectations
we'll be
for top
seeing.
three?
Influencer wins. Mamu P2. That's it. Ritesh P3.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting prediction, or I should say a guess, whatever you call it.
Has to be a prediction.
Yep, it looks like drivers have been given enough time. Should be time for them to ready up.
See.
Soon we'll be jumping into the race, a 28 lap battle among the drivers. And just a matter of time till we find out who is the winner of our
I
finale round.
sorry to cut you off, Tanish. I'm getting news that in the Tier 4 lobby, on the start, before the lights went out, a safety car has come out. Let's just hope that doesn't happen to us.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yep.
That is seriously not something we would have want.
If anybody's thinking F1 23 is going to be any better, you're dead wrong.
It's the same on F1 23. Alright, well, 5 lights ahead of us. 5 now, it's lights. Out and away we go. Parth off to a very, very good start. Although Billy Butcher has something to say about it. Already getting very close to Parthogen. Not close enough though. That's an Alfa Romeo sending it down the inside. There's a bit of wheel banging between Ritesh and Billy Butcher. Doesn't seem to be any proper collisions as of yet. There's Ritesh still hanging very closely to Billy Butcher. And we have Mighty Owl who's dropped down a position. Influencer up into P10. Vinay down into P9 here. And let's see, we have Lean Sipper who's up into P6 actually, so he's gained 3 positions himself. Mr. Raut P13. Uday has also lost I think a position or 2 himself. Otherwise I think the top 3 has remained pretty much the same.
Yep, and the most important thing is Mighty Owl is going with a very interesting strategy, starting on softs as we see a driver going off track. It looks like it was Mighty Owl or Vinay if I'm not wrong. But yep, that was, I'm not sure if he got pushed out there, but let's see what's gonna happen. Mighty Owl who is on soft, pretty interesting from him. He needs to go gain place and just fighting his own teammate. I don't know what's happening there simply.
I guess all gloves are off for the final round, nothing to hold back.
Yep, it just looks like that as Vinay who is running in front of his teammate. I'm not sure why we are seeing a few cars ghosted to be fair, but yep, Parthogen keeps the lead with him with Billy Butcher in P2, only at 2 tenths behind by the end of lap 1. So yep, good going from all these guys.
Absolutely doesn't, by the looks of it, that doesn't seem to be a lot of gap forming between the top 2 as I was expecting between Parth and Billy Butcher. I think Billy Butcher is having a very good, I think, Sector 3. I think he's carrying a lot more downforce than Parth, or as far as I know, Parth is carrying a lot more downforce than Billy Butcher, not an influencer carrying a lot more speed down the inside. Unfortunately, Mighty Owl on the racing line has something else to say about it. Stays in P10, although not a bad effort from influencer considering he has started this race on the hards.
Yep, and
Oh, that's an Lean Super. He spun out. Okay, luckily his car was ghosted. There would have been a collision right there if it wasn't.
do you think that's allowed? I mean, even if the car is ghosted, I think you should be waiting for the cars to pass by. It just distracts the
it's
driver
ghosted.
sometimes.
It's ghosted, so it doesn't matter.
I know it's ghosted, but sometimes the game ghosting, it just doesn't work perfectly the way you want.
Yeah, that's when it doesn't ghost at all. In situations where it has to ghost here, luckily it ghosted him, so it's fine for him to rejoin. That's considered a safe rejoin in my opinion.
Yep.
But yeah.
But again, that's something Stuart should be looking at, to be fair,
Yeah.
if it's reported. So I think we should just focus on our race and see what's
I mean,
happening.
to be honest, it's the last round. Why bother reporting? But yeah, that's very. Oh my god, the literal back of Mohan MR9. And he's on the side as well. And Mohan gives him a nice little love tap and tells him to go buy a Rolex as he pushes him off into the Rolex board. And we can see Ritesh having a nice look down the inside of Billy Bush. And half again, that VTEC of that Red Bull has finally kicked in. He's up ahead by a second and a half.
And just going fastest lap every next one. So, yep.
Spins out again.
I'm seriously not sure that incident with Lean Sipper just looks like, the contact model coming in play and just two cars sticking together when they come into contact. So, yep, it was something that we didn't expect but still expected. I'm not sure how to phrase it, but
I get
kind of
it,
that
I
thing
get
for
it.
me.
Yeah, well, it was an unexpectedly expected contact for it to happen, I guess is what you wanted to say.
Yep, exactly. You phrased it right for me, thank you.
Welcome, and we can see influencers still up into P8 now, still trying to get it away from Mighty Owl, but Mighty Owl, of course, being almighty, not letting it go away. Lean Sipper with the very. Oh, Billy Butcher, he spun out. He's lost on 2 positions. Alfa Romeo P2, P3 currently, and he's under attack by E-Dog, who luckily does not have the DRS in the cars ahead, but both of them are spamming the DRS. E-Dog, can he go around the outside, or is he gonna try and let Billy Butcher outbreak himself? Nope, he just doesn't break quick enough, and that's influencer sending it down the inside on Mighty Owl as well.
Yep, Netherlands influencer driving on these hard tires like they're the same tires as the other drivers are on. So, yep, the pace difference is really there. But yep, it looked like Billy Butcher made some serious mistake on the exit of turn 11. Must have, lost the traction on the exit, and that's why he was there off track on the left. And just give other drivers a chance to overtake him.
Yep, I guess that could be it. We'll just have to see later. However, Mighty Owl getting a 3-second himself now. So he's not very good with the track limits on this track, which to be fair is quite fair because the track limits are very unfair on this game, especially on this track again, as I said. So yeah, we get it.
Yep, not just unfair but very inconsistent or inconsistent, whatever you call it.
Yep.
Half of the time you don't even feel like or expect that would be a penalty, but it surely is given by the game and you can't even ignore it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right now we are just seeing how the field is not spreading up, but still not. It's just kind of clusters of drivers form with few drivers close and few drivers far. So, yep, right now Uday, who is keeping the pressure on Mighty Owl, who is on soft tires. Doesn't look like soft tires are working pretty well for Mighty Owl.
Yeah, I think. Oh my god, okay. Well, now they definitely are not working out for Mighty Owl because he spun out. Clear contact with Uday. Could have been netcode, could have been games, physics, but I think, yeah, well, that's Mighty Owl's whatever strategy that he did have, that's gone down the drain.
Yeah, as right now I just saw a message where it shows Lean Zipper has left the session, so I don't know what happened there. But Mohan, who is in a battle with Mr. Rod, sends it down the inside and gets the move done by the end of Sector 2. That was a really good move from him.
Absolutely, a very solid move from him, especially at that place. Not very easy to pull it off, but he still managed to do it. So, yeah, that's something.
Yep, turn 13 and 14 of this track, you really feel like it's not a very good overtaking spot, but the lines are so much like you have so many possibilities of different lines that just open up the possibility of an overtake there.
Absolutely. I'm surprised there have been these many overtakes already on this track. Usually
Yeah.
quite boring. This one, and Mighty all getting 5 seconds, and now he has a total of 8 seconds of penalties on him. Although the 5 seconds obviously is removable if he does pit again.
Yep, it's pretty frustrating for a driver to just keep on getting penalties in just 5 laps itself. So, yep, I'm not really sure what's he gonna do, but yep, he should keep his head down and watch for the safety car or something that would help him come back into the race. So, yep, just try to drive to the end. That's all we ask for, and that's what shows, like, that's what a driver is. To be fair, it's not about winning or the place where you finish. It's about finishing a race at first.
I guess some drivers would disagree to that. But in an overall sense, yeah, you do have to obviously finish the race first to finish first, or whatever the
Yep,
quote
yeah,
was.
exactly.
So yeah, in that sense, yeah, it does make sense. As influencer has already chased on Satvik, an OG member of IRC, one of I think the first 10 members to join IRC. So he's been around for a very very long time, and yeah, we can see that he does have that experience to speak for himself. Let's just hope that he can keep influencer behind. Although again, not to take anything away from Satvik, but it's just not going to be very easy for him considering it is influencer that we're talking about here. He has been the quickest and the most consistent throughout the season. So yeah, it is going to be a tough ask from even Satvik considering his experience, but we'll see what he can pull off.
Yep. And right now it looks like Alpha Romeos are in a really decent spot with Ritesh, who is 2 seconds behind Pathogen, with Wolf Imperia, his teammate P3, running just less than a second behind him. So I think they have a decent time to play a team game and just split the strategies and try to keep that pressure on Mamu so that either one of them gets the strategy right and tries to get a move done on Mamu before the race end. And just to clarify, Mamu is Pathogen only, so that's his
Yep.
Discord name that we're calling him. So yep.
Exactly, it's muscle memory. So
Yeah,
we're not
exactly.
actually calling him a Mamoon and insulting with that's just his name.
Yep, that's no insult for him from our end. It's just muscle memory, like simply said. But yep, right now not an influencer. First close down the gap to Satvik and makes a move on the straight and gets the move done by the end of turn 12, if I'm not wrong. Or is it turn 12 or turn 11?
14, I think.
It's turn 12. Yep, turn 12.
Huh? Okay, I
Yep.
thought it was 14.
No, that was turn 12, and he gets the move done. And right now,
Oh.
Billy Butcher, another spin for him.
Yep, and he's lost a lot more time again to the front runners. So again, he'll be having to deal with influencers. This just makes influencers' job a lot more easier. Although he is kind of out of the air, it's around 24-25%. So that's something he'll have to start looking out for.
Yeah, and it looks like in this lap, not Billy Butcher, I'm sorry, but not an influencer, went purple sector too. I think that DRS from Satvik must have helped him a lot.
Absolutely. DRS is very helpful. Around, I think, a second on this lap you can gain with the help of the DRS. So yeah, that's definitely helped him out quite a lot. It's really just pushed him forward onto the next drive. So I think that's what he's going for. Get the DRS on both the DRS zones, make a move on the second one, and that just like sends you like a slingshot. So that will be very helpful for influencer.
Yep, exactly. As right now, not an influencer is on a charge to the drivers in front, and still he's trying to replicate a Max Verstappen with starting on slower setup or slower, I should say, a harder compound tires, which is comparatively slower as we compare it with medium or soft tires, and still trying to get that P1. By it might be because of the strategy, it might be because of the pace. So he's just trying to pull a Verstappen here.
I think it's because of both. And Dave as well in our chat saying, what an overtake. Absolutely. I think he was referring to. Yeah, he definitely was an amazing overtake.
Yep, the drivers are just showing doesn't matter if the track is good for overtaking or not, we'll make sure that we get the place where we belong.
Absolutely.
Yep, as right now we are seeing field is a bit spread, like not a lot of drivers are very close. It's just that 2-3 drivers battling while others are just 4-5 seconds behind another. So yep, the field is not a lot of action to be fair. We're just seeing what we can get for the viewers right now. Parthujan has created a 2.7-second lead over Ritesh. So I think Parthujan, for him it should be just that try to get a decent lead from Ritesh so that even if there's a safety car he doesn't lose a lot of positions.
Absolutely, it's gonna help him out a lot if a safety car were to come out in his pit window. And
Yep.
Ink in the comments as well saying Parthajan's domination could bore fans. It's definitely not boring anyone right now. At least I mean, it is the final race, so it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, and just to add that Parthujan was not like he wasn't able to get very consistent results at the start of the season, as right now we are seeing Edog who's trying to make a move on Ritesh from the outside, with Ritesh trying to keep the car on the inside. Will he let move stick? Yep, Edog sticks the move and gets the move done by turn 13. But Ritesh is not leaving him, he's just going again and trying to get that place back from Edog, but
Oh,
Edog is not making it very
getting very
easy
close.
for him. Yep. And Edog keeps the place as of now from is it Ritesh or Wolf Empiria? I think it's Wolf Empiria who's
Wolf
back.
Ritesh is far ahead.
Yep.
While Edog goes there, I think his Wi-Fi is having a bit of an issue. Well, Wolf Imperial takes the DRS and now will fly away from Edog, who does not have it. Although I think Edog is spamming his ERS, that's why he's able to keep up.
Yep. Rightly said. As right now, yeah, I was mentioning about Parthujan. Like at the start of the season, he was not able to get very consistent results. As we see Mohan, Parthujan's teammate, into the wall at the exit of final corner. I don't know what happened there. Is it because of traction loss on the exit?
Has to be traction. I don't think there was anyone near him. So I think that is pure traction loss on the exit there, which makes sense. It's a very hard circuit to master, especially that last corner. You think you can push quite a lot, and then when you get to the edge of your tires grips, then you're like, oh well, too bad, now I'm in the wall.
Yep. And again, it's third time I'm trying to say that. Yep, Mamu was someone who was not able to get very consistent results at the start, but as the season passed by, in the final few races, I've seen him getting amazing results, like whether it's qualifying or race. He's just trying to be consistent, avoid penalties, and get his at least one spot in that podium place in every race.
Absolutely. His bad run of races was mainly because of him getting taken out. Quite a few incidents that he was involved in. Not that he caused them, but other people just crashing into him or crashing him out rather. And because of that, he did struggle a bit. But when you can see that the grid has cleaned up a bit, thanks to the coordinators and the stewards, you can see that he actually is a very, very quick driver himself, and obviously pulling off a 2.5-second gap and maintaining it. Although he'd obviously like more himself, maybe like a 10 or so second gap, but a 2.5-second gap is still very commendable.
Yep, it surely is. As right now we are seeing not an influencer who is still under pressure from Satvik. I think it's just the tire difference that's helping Satvik stay close to not an influencer. But not an influencer, I think he's just hoping for a late safety car so that he might directly go out to the softs. Simply just one question. Do you think it's possible that one starting on hards just goes to, let's say,
Nope.
lap 18, 19 and goes on softs?
Nope.
So soft tires
The softs in this track die after maybe 2 or 3 laps.
Okay.
Like that's how high the wear is here. So you could stretch the tires out, but if you want an advantage, you'd rather just follow the normal strategy rather than extend the hards out until that long and then all for you to have an advantage for maybe like 2 laps, 3 laps, and then you just drop off hard.
Okay, so basically the only good thing for the driver is to go on mediums again for whosoever is on hards as of now.
Yep.
Yep, that's interesting. But I won't be surprised if I see a few drivers going on hards, just for the sake of an aggressive strategy. As right now we see Vinay has joined back the session and will be trying to gain the places that he must have lost because of his AI driving the car. And right now, Who is this? Is it okay? E-Dog who's still putting a pressure on Wolf Empiria. It's something that just keeps driver going into the race and it's not like one getting bored just driving
Keeps
alone
them
like
on their toes.
Verstappen. Yep, exactly.
When you're in this sort of situation where the guy behind you is close enough, not too close, but close enough, you forget about everything else that is happening. You forget how many laps have been done. You forget about, the people ahead of you, if you should focus on catching them or what you should be doing with the tires. You just like, well, I'm focused on the guy behind or ahead of me. You stay focused on them until you're like, oh, wait, probably have to pit, or until he gets like really close and gets the move done, as that's Mighty Owl getting past his ghosted teammate's car. But yeah, as I was saying, it's it's a bit of a dodgy situation to be in as a driver, but yeah, he's still managing to pull it off.
Yep, I
Not too far
agree.
away from his teammate.
Yep, I agree with you on that and right now, still there's a big gap and Vinay has left the session again. So the game issue is coming in play and how bad the
I
game
think
is.
so.
Is right now E-Dog who tries to get a move done on Wolf Empiria but late breaks himself and is not able to stop within the track limits and needs to go on the runoff. Thankfully there was no wall.
Lol.
So yep. And yeah, the dirty air. Simply, what do you think about the dirty air on this track? Like these fast section of corners, how much it affects a driver who is
A
running behind
lot.
another car?
A lot. I mean, dirty air in this game already is very, bad. It's bad enough on its own, and then on this track where you do need the downforce to go through, especially sector 1 and 3,
Yep.
it's really crucial for you to have that downforce. And unfortunately, obviously, if you're following a car very closely behind you, getting that dirty air, you obviously lose a lot of downforce yourself, and that's just makes it again harder for you to follow the car ahead. Requires you to push a lot more, use up a lot of your tires as well. So that is why, again, as I said in the beginning, that this track is not really good for close racing. Although these guys have been proving us wrong so far, but I still stick by it.
Well, that's okay to be fair. But yeah, Southwick, who is in P4 after two drivers, E-Dog and Ritesh, decided to pit for the hard tires. Yeah, Billy Butcher has also pitted for the newer set of hards. So the battle is still on with E-Dog for him. And right now Mohan, who puts the fastest lap of the race as of now, which is a 1:37.4, looks like he's just trying to maximize his medium tires which he's on because he's on new tires. Doesn't want to be waiting a lot because there's not a lot of time left, to be fair.
Absolutely not. He has to push, especially these guys, Ritesh, E-Dog, all Billy Butcher, all these guys that have just pit on cold hard tires. They'll have to push to make sure that Parth cannot get that overcut done on these guys. Otherwise, their strategy will go to a bit of a waste. As we can see, Ritesh clearly struggling with the cold tires, with the dirty air over there. He's just not able to pull it off. Wolf Imperia pits as well. Clearly, Parth, I think he's managed to nurture his tires quite a lot because he's gone on for another lap.
Yep, and it looks like Ritesh needs to clear Uday pretty fast because he's just slowing Ritesh down. Ritesh is battling Pathogen. He doesn't want to be sticking behind a driver who is on 11, 12 lap old mediums while Ritesh himself on fresher set of hards. So he would be wanting to clear Uday pretty quick, and that's why it looks like he's trying to be a bit more aggressive on his driving style, losing the rear a bit through the exit of few corners. It just shows the frustration of a driver, to be fair.
Yeah, it does get really frustrating when you're sat in that position.
Yep. And considering how faster you are compared to the other driver, and right now he decides to get a move done on that left kink and makes it stick, and both drivers come out alive.
Very hard to do that, to be honest, but he still managed to do it, so that's good.
Yep, exactly. And he's finally cleared Uday, and now weaving on the straight. What's exactly happening? I'm not sure. Do you know what's happening there?
No, to be honest. I think he's just Ritesh has just gotten past him. I guess that's it.
Yeah, pretty confusing. Looks like you're just trying to indicate something that, don't do it kind of thing. Just that you can't move your fingers, so you just have to rotate your whole car.
Absolutely.
So, yep, as Pathogen decides to pit on new set of hard tires with Ritesh going through final few corners. He will be going through the final corner soon. Can he get the undercut done on Pathogen? Pathogen is about to come out of the pits. It's gonna be very close. And yep, Pathogen comes out in front of Ritesh, but the gap has closed down not a lot, but still, yep, the gap closed down by a second. Simply.
I think if he
He
wasn't
is
impeded
quick.
by Uday, he surely would have been ahead.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's just that the few, let's say around a second he lost while battling Uday. That was just the decider for Mamu. Mamu was, or Pathogen, yep, Pathogen was just thanking Uday for keeping him behind, and just shows the difference of cold tires versus tires at optimum temperature. How quickly Ritesh is closing the gap to Pathogen.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, the cold tires are very, very disadvantageous here. Although Ritesh does not have any ERS to play with, so he's on a back foot there. Uday holding up Ritesh himself, and yeah, that's cost him a lot here. He's had to lose up a lot of his ERS. He has the inside line, goes for the move on Parthogen, but Parthogen obviously not willing to give up just yet. Has 50% ERS, whereas Ritesh clearly under 10% as his ERS light is flashing.
Yep. And right now, the another point is to not involve in a battle, like not battle a lot, and try to keep going as fast as you can, because not an influencer, another driver who might pit on the faster set of tires and might close the gap to these two. So they just don't want to waste a lot of time battling each other in this stage of the race, and just go as long as they can without losing a lot of time.
Yep, that is exactly what they have to do here. Parth as well, as you said, he will just have to hold back, use the DRS, wait for I think the back straight where he can start using up his ERS a little bit, gain that bit of an advantage as well because of the fresher tires obviously, and try and make it to the end as influencer. Still hasn't boxed, but I think if he does box, he'll come out around P4, P5, which is still not bad.
Yep, I agree with you, as right now we are seeing Pathogen running behind Ritesh, and Ritesh 7 seconds behind Norton Influencer, who still needs to pit. Any idea simply on how much is the time lost in the pits on this track? Is it 22 seconds, 23 seconds?
I think it's around 25 seconds.
Okay, so 25 seconds. So, yep, I think they still got. And Ritesh, I'm still not sure what he's trying to do. It's the second time that he has done that weaving on the straight.
Yep, that is what they have to be unfortunately doing side by side. Parth has the inside for the coming up corner. Ritesh going for a switchback, and he's still at it on that switchback. Bit of wheel banging there from both of them. Oh, again. But yeah, I think that move seals it for Parth, and I think he's just gonna pull away a lot more now.
Yep, it's just like, and Ritesh gets a 3-second penalty in all that battle. Yeah,
Oof.
you doesn't want that to happen, Ritesh. You just have to wait and not get very excited or very frustrated. You just stay calm and wait for the driver in front to make a mistake, not yourself.
Absolutely, he's pushing a little too much. He just has to hold back down, chill for a bit, and then he'll be able to go. As that is Uday who spun out. Yeah, that's a bad race, going to even worse considering that he has new tires. He'll be a little too hot for his liking now, and he's gonna have to spend the next few laps just cooling them down. And yeah, that's obviously not gonna be. Oh my God, that's Billy Butcher doing. I think he's channeling his inner Bottas from 2020 at Turkey, if you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, don't really know, to be fair. I hope we didn't jinx him, but yep, it's
What?
his third spin in this race, to be fair.
You have not seen
I
the
don't really.
2020 Turkish Grand Prix?
Yep, I do remember that race. I'm not saying about that, to be fair. Yep, I remember that wet race where Bottas
Yep.
was just not able to keep his car on track.
Yep.
But today
Exactly.
also, Billy Butcher I'm not sure if it's because of the Borta stuff or is it because of urging that he's spinning again and again. But yeah, it's frustrating for the driver's perspective.
To be honest, it could be the commentator's curse working in full effect.
Well, that's the main thing. A reason a commentator is not ready to commentate, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Just doesn't want to mess up his, how should I say, fellow mate
Don't
driving
give the
at a race.
commentators any more reason to not show up for the streams.
Well,
Yeah.
we found out a reason today.
The next stream you see it's just gonna be SSJ. And he's just streaming, nobody's talking.
Well, yep.
We'll stream
we
in
have-
black and white.
I guess,
But yeah, on oh, Satvik loses his car.
Oh
That
my god.
that was a
Well-
pretty sudden loss of traction. It looked like pretty George Russell thing at Imola.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I think. Yeah, well, he's lucky enough to not cause a safety car there or retire from this race, especially on the final race of the season. Casually cutting across and getting a 3-second penalty for it. So he's clearly done that before.
Yep. And yeah, just to mention, like we were talking about SSJ handling all the stuff by himself, I just want to give credits to him that how he has handled all the stream team and everything for the streams that happen so smoothly throughout this season. So thank you SSJ for that.
Not a big deal.
Absolutely. That is very hard work.
Thank you for
Well
your
done
kind
by
words
SSJ.
anyway.
And that deserves a. From all
Probably a
of us.
race.
No, I clap using the soundboard. But yes, moving back onto the race, Satvik 10.5 seconds behind. Oh, what is Satvik doing?
Probably the hot tires. That's just not helping him to keep the car on track.
Hey,
Must be
that
trying
looks
to push a lot.
intentional to me. That might be a bit dodgy because his car just. He was looking fine and then suddenly he just went into the wall, stood there for a bit. The safety car came out and then he started moving. So I think the coordinators will be looking out at that
And the
despite
safety
it
car
being
is
the
out.
final race. Yeah, the safety car is out. So who does this help? I guess no. Oh no, Mr. Raut, he's still not pit, so I think it does help Mr. Raut. Mightyal as well, I think he could go onto a pair of mediums and finish the race on those.
Yep.
Quite a few
as-
people boxing, Billy Butcher, Mr. Raut, Mightyal getting another 3 seconds.
I mean, it's just like it's trying to. No, it's just how should I say it? It's a kind of a transition into a penalty fest right now, with the mighty owl with 20 seconds of penalty.
My god.
To be fair, we still have a record of 1 minute penalty, so it's still fine compared to that. But
Yep.
yeah, right now, Mr. Rod just exited the pits on a new set of medium tires, as right now we are seeing a safety car. Everyone wants to go on the faster set of tires. Simply, I would be honest with you. Like you
Please
said,
be.
soft tires might not have worked in these conditions, but I still would have
Absolutely
gotten
not.
onto the soft tires for the safety car and just try to maximize them.
Bro's still living in F1 2020.
I have this guy as my engineer, by the way. You're making me worried now.
well, well, I'm happy that at least there was no issues in terms of strategy, so it worked out. Might
Yeah,
be lucky.
today.
Might be lucky, but yeah, it worked at least today. So we have to wait till the point I make a mistake and then you decide, nope, this guy is still living in that 2020 game, needs to be changed.
Yeah, well, you haven't been really quick yourself from 2020, obviously, because you haven't got the time to be playing these games, real life content really quickly after Corona went. So fair enough to you. But yeah,
Yep. I
let's
think
prove
we
couple
can.
wrong, not right.
Yep,
If you know, you know.
Yep, I agree with you on that. Sometimes a person needs to be proved. Sometimes a person likes to be proven wrong rather than right.
Yep, absolutely. Not me though. Anyways, enough of the banter. Back on to whatever's happening on track. Vinay, quite a bit behind. Not an influencer. Oh, he's only P4, so it's not too far away.
Yep, not too far
Win
away.
again.
Uh, I mean, it's just right now it's time for everyone to just catch up to the safety car, and I'm expecting around 7 laps of racing, but drivers are still pretty far behind. Drive safety car might be in at lap 21.
Yeah, could be.
So, yep, and then we'll get back into racing and see what's happening and who's gonna come out on top among Pathogen and Ritesh, which are the main contenders of the race win today. But not an influencer right now is in the mix, and the safety car has come out perfectly for him.
Yeah, well, he pit quite recently, and his tires are still fresh, breathing, alive. So, yeah, well, he does have a massive advantage on his hands, and I think he'll be using it to full extent here. Might be the last of us again.
Yep, exactly. It's pretty possible, but I'm pretty sure. Can we just wait one sec? Can we check the tire status of each drivers and what tires the drivers are on as of now? I just want to see what tires are Pathogen and Ritesh on. Well, I think we might find it out soon, but yep, it from the view it looks like they're on hard tires simply. So it's game on for not an influencer.
Absolutely.
I still think Pathogen and Ritesh should have pitted for another set of mediums. What's your say on that?
Well, if they pit twice, they were obviously going to lose out on a lot more positions. But I think, yeah, it's better to lose one position to influencer rather than lose too many to the guys behind. Because then, when you have been in the top three consistently, for 19 laps, 18 laps, yeah, it's not really worth to lose it. Maybe, you can be like, okay, well, Wolf Imperial, not the day for you today. You can get out of the podium, but it'll still be a solid finishing, position for the Alfa Romeo guys, P3, P4. So definitely not the end of the world. Definitely, although of course for the both of them they would have liked to be on the podium to finish the race. But yeah, their penalties as well as influence space is not going to help them out.
Yep, it's surely not gonna help, but again, we have seen Norris defend from Hamilton on those hard tires. Obviously, there's a pace difference in the car, but again, if that's a possibility, this surely is a possibility that Pathogen and Ritesh might walk out as a team and just manage to defend from not an influencer.
Well, yeah, it's going to require everyone in the top three to defend off from influence to maybe hope that he doesn't overtake. So pretty much every corner, they're the only people going three wide. Make sure they synchronize their braking and their throttle so that, well, influencer has no place other than, the curves are off limits for him to make a move, which obviously he's not going to do. So I guess make like a big barricade in front of him, and that's I guess the only way where he'll be not able to make a move.
Yep, just act like a road blockage,
Pretty
a
much.
roadblock.
Exactly.
Yep.
If you want your positions, then do it. And plus, it's the final race of the season. Nobody has anything to lose anymore.
Everything is
And
fair
it's going to be
now.
really fun to see as well. So, yeah, I really hope they do that. But at the same time, I kind of hope they don't. Although more of me does wish that they do it, as the safety car is going in this time.
Yep, safety car will be in by the end of this lap, so it will give the drivers 8 laps of racing, and I think it's 9 laps of racing if I go exactly. So, yep, time for drivers to unleash their skill and just full send through the final 8 laps of this season and get as much as high as they can on the leaderboard.
Yep, and these will be, I think, the best 8 laps of their lives, because after these 8 laps, they get to uninstall F122. So they'll be driving these laps with a smile on their face, I'm pretty sure, as Parthogen weaving like a snake, more than a snake, and he has not yet gone. The line is right there, Parth. You might want to restart. Oh, he's knocked Ritesh off, and that's not gone well. Everyone else has restarted. E-Dog up into P2. What the hell happened there on the restart? I'm not sure. E-Dog already on the rear of Wolf Imperia. Oh wait, Influencer is gone as well. That's Mr. Routh who spun out. There's a ghosted car in the back. Parthogen gets past, not an Influencer. And there's still two cars going side by side in the back. I believe that's Satvik. No, that's Ritesh and Mr. Routh. Influencer and Parthogen once again switching positions. Now Influencer is ahead. Parth having to follow very closely behind to make sure he doesn't lose out on too many positions. That's Satwik getting past or trying to get past Ritesh. And in fact, he loses 2 positions while trying to do so. Lean Sipper getting past Vinay in the back. Mr. Raut and Ritesh having a bit of a scrap themselves. Ritesh getting past Mr. Oh my god, he almost got past Mr. Raut. And now these guys are 4 wide on this massive straight here. And they're still not deciding to give up at all. On the extreme edges of the track goes Mighty Owl. And finally, Mr. Raut once again gets past Satwik, and there's Ritesh once again for the taking, and looks down the inside. Does Mr. Raut does not go for it, instead loses the position to Satwik. Vinay getting a 3-second time penalty, and oh my god, what is happening?
I am still trying to recalculate what exactly happened at the start. No, I'm seriously speechless. Drivers are seriously driving like it's not the last 8 laps of Season X, or it's the last 8 laps of their life. They're just sending it. They're not worrying about anything.
Exactly, they're legit driving like their lives depend upon it, and it's showing. It's only been a lap, and it felt like a lot more.
Yeah, as right now we are seeing Parthogen, who has lost his race lead with Ritesh as well behind him. I'm not exactly sure what happened to both of them. But yep, as Satvik Reddy is battling Ritesh right now, Ritesh trying to defend from Satvik, yep, which he should be able to do through this section because it's not very easy place to overtake. But yep, I think the biggest losers here are Ritesh and Parthogen, with Norton Influencer still keeping that P5 with him and has still got 6 laps left to might climb to let's say P1 if possible, which is possible because the 2 drivers above him got penalties.
Yep, Billy Butcher could be on the podium here. The chance is high. E-Dog also very, very high on the chances of getting a P1, and he has Wolf Imperia in P2, which makes sense. He's on hard tires, whereas E-Dog fresh medium. So I think all Wolf can do is try and stick behind E-Dog until the end. Billy Butcher and Uday do not want to stick around. Billy Butcher wanted to make a move on Uday, unfortunately did not go his way. So now he's attempting again, but he's very close, and yeah, I think he's just trying to get the DRS. Yeah, these guys are getting too close to each other, touching rear once again. So yeah, he's very impatient to get past.
Yep, and Norton Influencer gets a move. Did Billy Butcher let Norton Influencer by?
I think so.
Well, they are not in the same team right now, but surely working as one, which I just said. Seeing both of them in the same team from past 2 races just made it look like they are teammates.
Yeah, well, I think Billy Butcher knows that if Influencer, if he stay close to Influencer, and if Influencer makes a move, then he can follow Influencer through and make that move himself. Mighty Owl picking up another 3-second time penalty. I wonder, is Mighty Owl the next Eitzel?
I mean, I don't really have any comments on that. I'll just stay silent. But yeah, right now.
Can we have a quick look at the penalties, please?
Yeah, that would be great.
18 seconds. Okay. So it's not helping his case. Let's just hope it does not pick any further. And we can see Satvik with the DRS on Ritesh.
Did he saw
Oh, that's more
penalty
than
in
2
pits?
moves. I think he might have,
also
yeah.
one penalty in pits.
I think so.
Yep.
Oh my god, there's a send from Satvik out of nowhere. Goes wide and does go in quite deep as well, letting Ritesh by. Although he has the inside lane, goes for it. Ritesh unfortunately has to let him by. Nowhere close to him. Loses just 6/10 almost in just one corner.
Satvik unleashing his experience, or inner Ricardo you can say. Just late braking as late as he can and manages to get the move done. I would still say that was a really great move, though earlier he ran a bit wide, but kind of set himself up for the next corner to overtake.
Absolutely, that's a very... Oh my god, Parthogen has retired. He's gone into the pits and he's retired from this race with only 4 laps remaining.
Oh no, dude, he was doing so good. No one would love to see that happening after driving so good throughout the race. In the final stage of the race, a driver who was at one point about to win the race now is DNF'd. So, yep, that's very unfortunate for him. And I still worried about was it because of commentators because I praised him a lot, but yeah.
Well, I don't think so because he went into the pits and retired. So maybe some other reason.
Well, any reason he
Routh
retired.
with another 3 seconds.
So 6 seconds worth of penalties for Mr. Rod, and right now not an influencer getting a move done on Uday. Just using that DRS and slipstream help with must be using extra power of his battery and making the move stick as Mamu has left the session. Didn't
Yep.
stick with us for the donut session.
I think that's a P2 confirmed for influencer as long as I guess if he stays in P3 because Wolf Imperial does have a 3 second. But yeah, if he can catch up to Wolf Imperial and get past him as quickly as possible, I guess E-Dog is not too far away then.
Yep, I agree with you on that. I mean, the battle is on, and Billy Butcher is trying to get a move done. I don't think that's a place where you can get a move done unless you're Vettel.
Well, it does take a lot of skill to get a move done pretty much in very tight corners. So yeah. Oh, Satvik, the fastest lap of this race as well. He's really pushing it. He's really wanting to get mingled with Billy Butcher and Uday, their battle. I think he really wants to try and gain as many positions as possible because he does have a 6 second time penalty on him.
Yep, as right now we are seeing Wolf Imperia getting another time penalty of 3 seconds. So, yep, Billy Butcher still trying to get a move done on Uday, and Uday is just defending perfectly till now. I'm not sure how long he can do it, with Billy Butcher trying to get move done through turn 11, I think. Hairpin of turn 11, he just spins out Uday. I really don't know what to say there. The incidents happening again and again. Drivers losing places. That's
Yeah,
very
well,
unfortunate. A lot of
not
reports
good.
to be coming, to be fair, on the last race as well.
Well, I hope not. I think everyone should just be happy that the season's getting over on this very shit game. Look forward to the next season, hopefully on a much better game. Uday and Mohan, well, they want to end it out in a bang, both of them going side by side. And of course, Uday is ahead of Mohan, although Mohan not willing to give up just yet.
Yep. So it's 25 laps into the race. 3 more laps to go with wonderful view of drivers going through this fast right-hander.
Mohan
the
spun.
Mohan's fun. I really don't know what is happening in this final few stages. It's just going all over the track.
Yeah, well, I think things have just calmed down and now we can reflect back upon what's happened so far throughout this season. A lot of pain for the coordinators, a lot of pain for the drivers themselves, a lot of pain for stewards also across all tiers.
Yep. But can't help, to be fair.
Absolutely not. Well, I guess everyone's just a bit glad to be moving on from this game. Influencer, well, he's having his fun with the DRS now behind Wolf Imperia. Not yet given up, but I don't think he'll be able to make a move on this straight unless he's got something on him. Well, 3/10, 2/10, a 10th, he's sending it. He sent it down the inside. And will he be able to make the move sick? No, my god, Wolf Imperia does have a lot of speed that he's carrying just around the outside of Influencer, and it shows. So yeah, a pretty good showing from Influencer so far. 2 more laps to go as we are coming just into the second last corner. Well, at least E-Dog is to begin the penultimate lap of this season.
Yep. With E-Dog must be really, must be having a smile on his face that leading a race with 3 laps to go. And the final lap of the race plus not an influencer a bit too far behind to catch him by the end of the race. So yep, I can imagine a face of right now as we see a car into the wall of the
That's
pits.
Satvik, who's still on lap 26. Now
Oh
he's
my.
lap 27.
There's a lot of happening on the track right now. We were not expecting all this stuff happening, but as the race is ending, or you can say season is ending, a lot of stuff is happening.
Yep, it is. I guess people are just having their fun. There's no point in taking anything serious anymore on the penultimate lap of this race. Just do whatever you want to, unless you are fighting for some sort of position in the standings. And I guess just stick to what you're doing, and maybe do it even better. And that's exactly what Influencer is doing. He's not fighting for anything. The WDC is sealed, but I think he's still trying to get those 400 points on the WDC. So he's clearly not willing to give up just yet.
Yep, he is not. I mean, again, the point is you want to finish on the podium in this final race. You want to be there on the top. So you would not want to lose it like this. Just send it. Just fully send it. No matter if you spin or not. Just show your full pace, how fast you can go.
Yep. And I do stand corrected. It's 300, not 400. 400 would be a little too much.
Yep. As we see a full
Begin the
range
final lap for
driver
Tier 3 in this season.
Yep. As right now we have started the final lap of our season X for Tier 3.
A big smile on everyone's face, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, exactly. It's now all or nothing for everyone who is battling on track. Just fully send it and get the move from your opponent.
Satwick, the 5-second penalty for cutting a corner, 14 seconds.
Man has gotten himself a different
How
challenge.
has he got
to
a
try.
corner cutting penalty?
I have no clue. And he decides to retire on
He
the
could have
last
at
lap.
least finished. At least he could have finished. That's the least he could have done.
Yeah,
And he decides to retire.
I have to agree with you simply. I mean, on the last lap, you have done so much effort to drive for 27 laps.
Yep.
You would not want to retire on 28th lap just
Absolutely
because
not.
of some issues. You would want to finish the race.
Yep.
So, yeah.
As some would say, classic Satwik moment.
I mean, no comments. Less experience with that.
But it's a joke. Okay. It's not insulting. It's just the normal
Yeah,
thing. but
that's why I said less experience with that. So no comments.
Yeah, Billy Butcher stay. Oh, you okay? Well, he's still trying to get that podium away from him on track. He does have 3 seconds less penalties compared to Wolf Imperial. Wolf Imperial has 6. Well, yeah, E-Dog coming into the final 2 corners now, finishing off this very roller coastery of a season. E-Dog comes across the line, and that is a wrap on season 10 for Tier 3.
Yep. So simply, just your thoughts on this race as well as season, and any comments or small few words for the season for Tier 3.
Well, Tier 3, if the boys are listening or will listen after, just keep on at it, guys. A lot of you have shown a lot of potential. Maybe Tier 2 or maybe even Tier 1, as you know, our very own Logesh did, went from Tier 3 to Tier 1 in a matter of a season. So keep at it, especially until the next season. And as far as this race is concerned, it was all right. It was definitely not as bad as I was expecting. But yeah, it's a very good race. And considering the whole season, again, same thing. We did have a lot of hopes for this season, but thanks to Codemasters and EA, just was not possible. But let's not end on a completely bad note. We do have another proper season coming up, and of course, a donut session that will be coming up very, very soon for the drivers to enjoy and for you guys to watch them enjoy as well after a whole season of hard work from pretty much everyone, be it a reserve driver, a main driver, or even just teammates from other tiers. These guys have really helped each other out. Tier 3 and especially Tier 4 as well. We know that they don't really, we don't stream Tier 4, but yeah, everyone has been noticing that all of those guys have improved quite a bit in terms of pace as well as cleanliness over the season. So yeah, just keep it up, guys. The most we can do is wait until the next season or whatever comes up next for the Indian racing community. And for the final time this season for Tier 3, this is your final finishing order. E-Dog in P1, not an influencer P2, Billy Butcher P3, Wolf Imperia P4, Ritesh P5, Mohan P6, Uday P7, Raut P8, Vinay P9, Mighty Owl P10, Lean Sapper P11, Satwik P12, and Parth P13.
Yep. So it's a wrap with a final race, and it will be time to jump into our donut session, which we are doing as a thank you or a gratitude towards the drivers who took part in the season and made it happen. So, yep, I think it's now time to set a lobby up for the donut session for the drivers.
Yep. Just the out of words right now. I'm quite tired myself, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're back. We're here for our donut session at Abu Dhabi. We're gonna let these guys have their fun as we watch them and reflect upon the season that we've just had. And yeah, well, some guys will be saying goodbye. Most people have left because they've had stuff to do. But the limited number of people that we still have will be enjoying this donut session before themselves enjoying themselves more when they hit the uninstall button on Steam when they uninstall this game.
Yep, they surely will be happy. Plus, obviously, a donut session always act as a tribute
And
to
yeah,
your hard work in racing. So, yep.
and you can look at the assist restrictions we have put only for this session. We have not told the drivers, so we hope you don't tell them as well. And yeah, well, let's just go.
Yep. So, drivers have readied up. I think drivers are still waiting for that 1 minute, too punctual.
Yeah, well, we did say that if they do ready up, then we'll cancel their season. And luckily, they're very, very adamant on not readying up even until now. But okay, let's just let them have their fun. And yeah, well, it's going to be a bit of a surprise for a few guys seeing that the TC is off and the donut session is going to start about now.
Oh, well, this.
Well, now. Suddenly everyone notices a loss of traction, and yeah, there's a few people spinning out already, and yep, here is the drivers enjoying themselves. Collisions are obviously turned off so that they don't collide into each other.
And, well, looks like drivers didn't read the rules properly.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Started
It's
doing
fine.
donuts, there was no parade lap.
It's fine, it's fine.
Yep, let's let the drivers enjoy themselves on this track.
Absolutely. I think we could have kept a 3-lap race, but yeah.
I mean, they must be tired of racing. It's just for them to enjoy, drive, spin, do donuts wherever you want, reset
Yeah,
to
well,
track.
Wolf Imperia is at the wrong place.
Yep, exactly. So they're just enjoying themselves.
Yep. So, Tanish, if you do wish to do so, how would you describe this season as it has been so far for Tier 3?
Well, I would describe it as a very interesting season. Like every race I was commentating or watching, there was something new happening or something interesting happening. Whether it's in terms of incidents, whether it's in terms of an underdog winning a race. So there was always something interesting happening in this tier. So this tier always proves to be an eye-catcher tier of the season. So I'm really happy with that. Plus, the tier managed to get a decent attendance throughout the season with no race getting cancelled. So kudos to them.
Yep. Absolutely. Everyone, despite this game's condition, decided to show up and still push through it. And obviously, a few people like Influencer Destroy Track did have to do so because, their WDC was on the line, whereas the other guys, were still there for whatever position they were fighting for or their team was fighting for. So, yeah, kudos again, as you said, to everyone. They're all here to have a bit of fun, and they did at the end of the day.
I have to tell you guys this. Watching these guys drive now is like pushing a two-year-old kid into into a swimming pool and telling him to swim.
I mean, yep. So that's something to note. Or okay, drivers have finished their laps and they'll try soon doing donuts. As we see that Alpine, yep, drivers have started
Well, I
doing
think
donuts.
Billy
on the
Butcher
main
didn't
straight.
try to do a donut mid-corner. I think he just genuinely spun out, but we'll allow it. We'll count it as a donut. And oh, that's E-Dog, I think, hitting the ball there quite casually. And yeah, everyone's just having a bit of fun.
I think in the meantime we should drag our top 3 podium places
Absolutely.
drivers to just get a chat with them and see what
Yeah.
they're doing and how was the season for them.
Yeah, I kind of forgot who the top 3 were.
I
can't
remember, sir, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yep. So
Mighty
Who was
Abuse.
P3?
soon be getting our podium people in the VC who are just doing donuts on the
Who's
track.
P3? Who's P3?
That's not a question to ask. It's Billy Butcher. Let's invite him quickly in the VC.
Okay, well, let's get him here.
Yep.
Okay.
So right now, I think we should simply. Why not you start with the P3 guy?
Yeah, sure, Billy.
Yes, man.
While you're hitting these sick donuts, hopefully you have some soon after the race as well. Describe your race, mate. That was a very interesting race for you. You were on the pace pretty much throughout the race,
The,
being consistently in the top five, making a good strategy out of it as well.
the race was
Despite the
quite
spins as well.
chaotic. Yeah, there was quite a chaos happening during the race. My setup was not apt for me going through the slow corners, so I had a spin there. And again, when influencer came out of the pits, I should have kept that in mind that he will be slow, but I followed him quite close and missed my mark in the apex and spun away. But yeah, the safety car really helped me. Like I jumped in for mediums, fresh mediums, and then there was some chaos in the restart. And again, like in Brazil, I had the opportunity to take four cars away, and I did the same here. And yeah, all in all, man, it was fun. The whole season, the number of races I did, it was fun. I enjoyed fighting with these guys, and hope to have more of these races in the future. And congratulations to Influencer and everyone, it was fun.
Absolutely, it was nice having you around as well, as the influencer is now driving in reverse to come next to you, or I believe, or well, whatever. But yeah, moving on to P2, well, happens to be influencer. So, yeah, the WDC this season clearly had a lot of fun. This race as well as the previous one, starting from the last and having fun doing the donuts now as well. So, yeah, mate, how's the season been for you? How's this race as well been for you? Quite a solid comeback, obviously.
I mean, season-wise, it was my first time seriously playing in a league race, so winning it is something nice. And I think I'm gonna start playing sim racing more seriously from now on. I mean, I can always improve and get more better and compete other guys, and it's so fun. I mean, racing is so fun. Today, I wanted to thank all the drivers. The fights we had today were good, very sharp and very aware of the track. So yeah, the safety car did make me so happy that okay, I'm gonna chase the guy in the front because if the safety car wouldn't have came out, I don't think I was able to chase the guys at the front. They were fast. They were really fast. So kudos to that. But then the restart was another mess, and then another challenge altogether. Overall, it was a very good race. I love the results.
Yep. Fair enough. It's a nice WDC for you to start off your first season itself, and yeah, well, congrats on the WDC and the P2 in this race.
Thank you.
Where is our winner? Well, I guess we don't have our race winner here, but yeah, that's been it for Tier 3, and I believe.
Oh wait, the race winner is coming. He's coming. He just
Yeah. I've
Yep.
just seen it. Yeah, we're waiting for the race
Yeah.
winner as well.
Let's hear from him. He did a good job today.
Yeah, absolutely. EP10 was on the pace throughout the race, so he definitely deserves a bit of an interview himself.
Yep, he surely does. We are just waiting for him. I mean, again, great racing from him. He has been doing really good from past few races. Yep. As right now, we are still waiting for our race winner. It looks like he just wants to keep us slightly more waiting before we can ask him questions on
He's
how his
here.
race was.
He's here.
And yep, simply, why not you start with that interview?
Yes, sure. Okay, EP10.
Yes.
Amazing race from you, taking the lead away from Parth and just keeping it consistent, keeping it there. Just amazing pace from you, amazing race from you as well, and especially towards the end, just pulling away a bit of a gap from people like Influencer and Billy Butcher, who both work extremely quick this race themselves. So yeah, how do you feel about this race as well as the season?
It's been a great season. I did much better than I was expecting, and a bit, a little pat on the back for myself for that, and feel proud of it. And the race was amazing. I wasn't expecting much because Kota is not my favorite track, so I was like, I'll just be, stay out of trouble and try to pick as much points for the team. But uh, once I got into quali, I suddenly started feeling like, you know what, I think we can get much more than this. And yeah, got P3 in quali, and in the race dropped a couple of positions, but I was quite good and feeling comfortable. Like I think the top five moved away quite early from the rest of the pack, and it was just between the five of us.
Yep.
And yeah, I think the safety car restart, I pitched up for a second time for fresh mediums. I think that was a game changing moment, the race changing moment, and that safety car really helped me to get on fresh mediums. And yeah, Parth I think had an incident on race restart, and I just zoomed through. There were like four cars in front of me, and I just managed to Wolf and I managed to just zoom through and take P1 and P2. But after that, I was pretty confident with the fresher tires, and Wolf was on the hards. So yeah, it was. I knew I had it, and towards the last 5 laps, I was just trying to not make any mistakes, just to prolong the tires and keep the grip in them. So I was like lifting off and coasting because I had a 3 second gap, so I could manage to do that. And on the straights, I was like full throttle and battery. So it was a great race. It was a great race.
Absolutely. A very, very good race from your side. And yeah, once again, congratulations for the win.
Thank you so much. I just want to give a quick shout out to my teammate Lean Sipper. We've had amazing races, and
Yep.
it was a pleasure like racing with him. And thank you you guys as well for organizing this and giving me an opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, our pleasure, mate. We hope to see you next season as well.
Of course, I will be there.
All right. Well, I guess maybe next season you'll be able to fight for the championship. That is it for the Tier 3 guys, though. Thank you so much for your time. All of you guys will chat with you soon.
Yep, so as we are done with T3, we have a small surprise for our Tier 4 people. We are streaming the donut session of T4 guys, which is on stream right now.
Exactly.
Drivers
Tier
will be
4.
soon starting their parade lap. I hope they don't start spinning at the start itself.
It's their first stream ever actually in
Stream
IRC.
ever, yeah.
Congrats to
Exactly.
them. We made it happen.
So this is how we're debuting these guys. For those of you who don't know, Tier 4 is our stream, is our the lowest tier that we have in IRC, and for obvious reasons it wasn't streamed, which I won't mention here. But what I can tell you guys about this tier is though that these guys, despite being a bit slow and being a bit rusty, new to the game, these guys were really quick, especially Vicious as well as Cheetah Charles. Both the Red Bull guys dominated the field, and if anything, broke a record that myself and Pre the Pro set a few seasons ago of the most points in the WCC. They've won 597 points as of round 17, which is not really round 17. But yeah, as of the previous round, 597 points. So they've pretty much broken the 600 point tally in terms of the WCC here. So these guys have improved a lot. And overall, the whole of Tier 4 has been really close in terms of performance.
I really
And
don't
pace
know
as
what
well
to
to
say.
one another.
I really don't know what to say. What's the point of this session when everyone just retired?
Yeah, well, that's Jose telling them to retire. But yeah, as I was saying about Tier 4, these guys, despite not being streamed, they are someone to obviously look out after. And the only way to know what's happening in Tier 4 is obviously to join our community. The website is on your screen right now. That is where you'll be able to find a Discord link and join through that. Obviously, follow the sign up process and you'll be able to have access to all of the server. Make sure to obviously follow us on our social media as well. We will be posting, I believe, we might be posting a few graphics for our WCC as well as WDC winners for this 10th season of Indian racing community in Formula 1 here.
Yep. So it looks like the donut session ended pretty quickly for TF4. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with them. Simply.
Jose has told them to retire, I'll tell you that.
Okay. So are we waiting for another session for them or it's over?
Up to you. To be honest.
Well, I think I should be confirming with them quick.
But yeah, Tier 4, again, join for you to know. All right, after sorting out a few issues, we are back, and Tier 4 will be doing their donut session, finally getting their live airtime on the IRC YouTube channel after 3 whole seasons of existing.
Yep, drivers have readied up and they'll be soon starting their donut session. So I think it always gives a good feeling whenever you do this donut session after the end of the season, like putting all that effort into the whole season, improving yourself, and then just enjoying whatever you have learned throughout the season.
Absolutely.
Because again, the thing is you can't just directly go to tier 1, you will have to learn step by step.
Absolutely, and hopefully, quite a few of these drivers will be going into tier 3, maybe even tier 2 the next season. We'll have to see
Yep.
as they begin their donuts, as they
Uh,
have their bit of fun as well while they're at it. Quite a few drivers like Rusty joined in the middle of the season, whereas Charles John and Vicious, they've been there since day one. Vicious being a great help to the coordinators himself.
that was a
I
pretty
just feel like this is a parent-teacher meeting. The second I start saying things like that about someone,
Let's
but
not
trust me, it is
not forget to announce that Vicious is the Tier 4 champion. I think we
I
haven't
did
mentioned
already.
that. Did you?
Yep.
Okay, my bad.
Yep. Vicious again, as Dan said, Vicious is the tier 4 champion. His teammate Cheetah Charles is P2. Prabal Deep is P3. So we luckily have the top 3 drivers here. And again, as I said, Red Bull have broken IRC's record for the amount of points gained in a season. Previously set by myself and Pre the Pro. And now these guys have taken it away with over 600 points. So it's going to be a big task to see which tier and which team can pull it off next season. Maybe beat even these guys' record. And yeah, let's just hope that that record keeps going up and up and up. Although, of course, with limited number of races, it's not really too easy to do, only 15 races this season. Maybe we could have had longer seasons, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yep. And we have given a glimpse of the tier 4 drivers with Charles John and Vicious, who are the constructor champions as well in Red Bull, doing donuts, plus all the drivers who are in the session right now just enjoying themselves after like how should I say, a season
Full of
full of
effort.
efforts. Yep,
Yep.
exactly, a season full of efforts which help them to improve and learn. So with this,
Absolutely.
I think it's time to wrap up tier 3 and 4 today.
Exactly, tier 3 and 4 today for this season for season 10 have come to an end. These guys will be enjoying their donut session and a casual catch up after this. If you do want to join the conversation, obviously Discord link on your screen, as well as other social medias, as well as our website is in the description. Do make sure to join and follow us on all of those. And if you're joining our community, obviously follow the sign up procedure to make sure you go through. So make sure that you have access to all of the channels that are here in Indian Racing community for you guys. An amazing season 10, a very long season 10 as well. 15 races have finally come to an end for tier 3 and tier 4. Do not worry though, we do have one final race for tier 1 as well as tier 2 tomorrow. Tier 2 being at 2:30 p.m. IST and tier 1 being at 8 p.m. IST. And yeah, let's just hope we get to see those tiers go again and have a lot of fun before they also finish off this grand season. Fear not, ACC, it's not completely over because ACC will be this Friday. I mean, there's only 7 rounds that have finished in ACC, 2 more to go. Actually, 3 more to go in ACC before they wrap up their season 7 as well. So catch ACC on Friday at 9 p.m. IST. And as far as it concerns us, this is it for this season for Tier 3 and Tier 4. We hope you have a great rest of your night as well as the great rest of your months or however long it takes before we catch you guys again. Thank you so much for watching throughout the season as well as this race. Have a great rest of your night.